This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, guys, so today we're going to see what are the groups and group assignments and all that. Before that, quickly I'll cover up some useful admin commands for as a DBA we need to know. Then I'll enter into the group, creating the users, assigning the users into the group, and get the permission through the groups. So in real world, we don't get the individual accounts, permissions and the folders are anywhere. You get through the group accounts only. Everything through group accounts. Individual rights people you don't get it basically. I won't explain that anyway. Before that, let's talk about few important options that we need to know basically. So there is something called PS. PS means if you just enter PS, it is going to display uh, processes on the machine. PS-EF. So if you hit this, these many processes are running on the machine basically. It's like equivalent to in Windows, if you go to Task Manager, if you go to processes, there is something called processing. These many processes are running in my laptop. If you look at, so which means it's equivalent, exactly equivalent to that one. But if you wanted to search for one particular service, assume a case, do you want it to search for SSH service, or do you want it to search for some other something what you wanted to look for nfit something? So I wanted to search because there's a huge output. There are a lot of services. I don't want to manually search it. There is a grep command. Grep is will be used for searching the data basically. So something nfit is there, right? So you see it. It is giving, there is a service called nfit, and it is running with this ID, the process ID. This process ID is important for us to kill it basically if we wanted. We're going to see that what are the steps we will take to kill a process. We don't kill directly. In a worst case, we lost the access to the server. We wanted to gain the access back online. That is the case. We kill the session directly from the OS end. Other than that, we don't create it. I'm going to talk about the situations when do we use this method to kill a process from the OS in a worst case. Anyway, when we run a Mongo, if we wanted to know Mongo is running or not, we don't search one by one like this. You don't open and search like this. You always run the ps-ef grep Mongo. This is what we do all the time. So that Mongo is service is running or not, it will tell us. So one extra thing will be added. See, whatever you are running, you're trying to grep it. That is also a session. It is giving you that session actually. It's not a Mongo server. Mongo server will be displayed in a different way. We're going to see that if the Mongo is running. So PSF in EF is going to show you all the sessions that are running, and out of which we are piping it. We are sending the output to here and filtering it out. What I wanted to read, wherever the Mongo service is there, that I wanted to see it. Grep will be used in a different ways, guys. Actually, where I am, let me show this in a different way. So I guess, do we have any data in any of the file? Cat file 6. It's a very useful command. Okay. 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, then let's move to here then. Better. There is a log file. There we have a lot of data in it. So then this will make much sense. So if you see this one, if you see this Mongo log file, it has a lot of data. If you 1.2 MB data, and if I wanted to know how many rows of data is there inside that file, wc-l and the file name. This is what we use it actually. Okay, this is what we use it before we read it. I do use this one. Okay, I don't own it, so I need to have sudo permissions to read that. And it is asking my password, right? How many lines? 7,737 lines are there. It is not changing actually. Yesterday also 7,737 only. Today also it is the same because Mongo is not running actually. If you see, Mongo is not running. That is the reason the log is not growing. Else it will grow every second. It will write a lot of events about whatever you're doing. Like you're creating a collection, you're deleting a collection, you're logging into the machine. If you failed, then it will write the events in the Mongo log file. We are highly dependent on this one for many troubleshootings. Anyway, this is not growing just because of Mongo is not running at the moment, which is fine. So I'm trying to read cat file name example Mongo. It is going to read everything basically, which is not good. So it is going to read 7,000 all the lines of it. No, actually there is some issue people are getting on particular date as you make use. On this date they are getting the issue. You can give the date filter also. It is possible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go cat and Mongo. This is the file. I have to use sudo to read it. I'm sending the pipe. Pipe means send the output to next level. And I'm going to grep and giving this value, given the quotations and shift insert. If I run this, it is going to give us the logs only on that particular date only. It is not going to read everything. You're because you're filtering it out. See guys, let me clear this. See, if I'm running the command, this first command is going to read everything. And this first command output is giving to the next command. Next command, what it is doing, it is only filtering whatever the logs are generated on this particular date, basically. So if I run this, it is like this. So maybe you don't want this. You wanted to see only errors in the Mongo. What kind of errors are generated? So you go with the error. You see these many errors are generated in Mongo. And for what reason? And you wanted to see on particular days again. See, there is a 23 and 23, 23, 22, 22, and 21 and 20, 20. So you wanted to see one particular date errors, assume a case, only errors. To check the Mongo health, this is what we do. Are there any errors are recorded in the today? Like if Mongo got restarted, we will read the errors basically. Is there any errors recorded in the Mongo log file? If someone rebooted the server, you started the server and you wanted to see the health of the Mongo, you have to read the error log. You have to, it's not error log, we'll call it as Mongo log. We have to read the Mongo log. That will tell us the health of the Mongo. So this this file, very important for us. So now again the same thing. I wanted to still further, like give the filter grep grep. I wanted to read the errors today in today because it is rebooted today itself, just for this case of discussion. So I can give the date filter again in this. Only 23rd errors I wanted. Other dates errors I don't want. So it is giving only 23rd errors. Further, you can give filter more and more filter. This pipe will go on wherever update is there, update line is there that I wanted. Grep. Okay. You can further filter like this till you achieve to get what you wanted. See, there are only two lines which are starting with update. So you're reading the entire file. Out of entire file you wanted to read only error. Out of entire file, filter out everything, and you wanted to read the errors on particular date and the particular date also, and you're looking for a particular word in it. So your it is 7,337 logs, out of which you are able to read only 2 lines of code, actually 2 lines of log, not all. So that way the grep will be really helpful for us to read the content what you wanted to. You have a very big file, and out of which what you wanted to read, and from that file you have a keywords, use a keyword and read out. Further you wanted to filter further, there are no limitation. You can see this output is given to here, it is filtered out with error. It is given to this one again, and it is filtered out on the date. Again this is given to this one, it is filtered out on update. Like this it can go on. Like in how many filters you wanted to keep it. Ultimately you wanted to reach some your target area, right, that you can reach. You guys are following? This is how the grep works. If you understood this, this is over. Grep command is over, as simple as it is. Grep will see again, there is a syntax for, actually I did not follow this thing. If you go to website, they'll mention I means input. It will give the same thing, but I means input. Basically what you are inputting to the grep filter is error. You have to use the I as a as a documentation. Even you give it, you don't give it, it will work. It is a default. Even if you give it, you don't give it, it will work. What is I means input? You are giving the input of error as a word as an error. to the output to filter. Whatever the output is coming from this command, it is giving to this one. This one is filtering on error, whatever the incoming data from the previous pipe, and it is filtering on error and sending it to the next pipe. Next pipe is again filtering on the date. Next pipe again filtering on the update, like that. So are you guys clear on this? Yes or no?
Yeah.
That's all about update, guys. Okay. Right. If you wanted to ask something, you can ask. But this is very important. Seriously, we do read the Mongo logs. That time we will grep many time, and we use a grep many other reasons. Basically, I'm going to talk about that. So when we had to do the recovery also, Mongo recovery grep is going to be used because we wanted to see that drop is happened on that particular someone deleted a table, assume a case. We wanted to recover it. We can recover if it is a replica set. Standalone, there is no recovery. You can only take the dumps. Through scripts you can take the you can do the automation like taking the backups, but there is no oplog backup in the standalone. So we're going to see that anyway. You don't understand at the moment recoveries and all. This is about the grep, guys. Let's move to the next command. PS we just seen showing the all process. PS means processes. PS-ef, it will show you all the processes which are running on the OS at the moment. These are all running processes at the moment on the OS level. That is simple command anyway, nothing else. This is so important for us, especially if you're going to the new project and you wanted to familiarize yourself without KT. This command is going to help us, especially like I wanted to find where Mongo files are located. I wanted to find where Mongo server is running from. I don't know the locations. I just joined. I just given a server. So how do I find? So sudo find, and where you wanted to find under the root directory. Go to the entire system and read it. So I find name. What you are looking for? I'm looking for Mongo asterisk. Wherever the Mongo file is there, go under the root directory means it is like a C drive for you. It is a C drive for you. Like whatever the installations are there on this machine, I wanted to just see it. Whatever the installations are there with the Mongo, I just need it. So if I run this, it is going to go into the entire system and tell you that where the Mongo exists on the machine. See, in a whole machine, there is only one file called Mongo 3 dot log. Mongo 3 dot log. Only one file is there in the entire system. It is saying that. So what I'll do, just quickly for your sake of discussion, where are we? SFL, PWT. So I'm creating intentionally something. Sudo make directory mkdir test. It is got created. It got created. Okay. Now under the test, I'm creating touch Mongo. I'm just creating. Okay. Mongo.txt. Come on. And Mongo db.txt. Something I'm creating. Come on. I have to use the sudo. So find. Let's do the find now. So wherever the find is actually sudo find, it will go to every single directory of the root directory. Sudo find where I wanted to find under the root directory, complete entire root directory. And what is the name of the thing you wanted to look for? So I wanted to look for Mongo. Wherever Mongo, just Mongo is there, pull out that record. I just wanted to see that file name wherever Mongo is there. If I do this one, expression find name Mongo asterisk. Paths must be proceeded with expression mongo.txt. Oh, okay, it is saying about this txt file kind of. Or it is saying use level start rate option path expression. Why the heck is asking that thing? You want to read text file or what? Let's see. Mongo.txt exactly. Okay. It only read the binaries, it seems. Anyway, guys, what exactly it does, you don't know where one file is sitting in the whole system. You don't know. Example. Then we go find, it is a root directory, means it is reading the entire disk file system what you are seeing right now. It is going to all of the file system and reading for this name basically, and it is finding you the location as well where the file is located. Exactly. If you don't know the file, the particular binary file location or any file location, you just use that. It is going to find out everything for you under that directory. So right now under the var, I'm under the var directory. So what I'll do, anyway, I'll do this one. Sudo. I'll use the, instead of root, I'll use the var. Sudo find where I wanted to find under var directory, and what I wanted to find now. Uh, File, maybe whatever the name is starting with a file, I just need that file asterisk. So how many files are there with the file in it? Under the var directory. Var means this is a var directory. Under this particular directory also you can search. Entire system also you can search. Entire system means complete root directory. Everything is mounted on the root directory only. You have a lot of file system. Go to every file system and find the file. So I'm saying that sudo find under var directory, look for this file wherever the file name is there. So there are file prerequisite, file system, file 5 kind of, wherever these kind of things are there, just find it out. Just find it out. If I go to, instead of var, if I go to just a root directory, okay, there will be many, see, there are many files it has given the output. These many files are there with that name. There are very large number of files are there. See, it is reading every file system. If you see user directory, the directories will change slowly. Come on. It is a huge output. There are many files are there with that name. That is why it is giving huge output. Anyway, if you see, it went to the every directory and giving it, see, etc directory, user directory, var directory, sys directory. It went to every single directory that is hosted on the machine. It even went into the user directories, home Ravinder, file 20, log 20, file 20, 30 we created for our discussion. Everywhere it went and find this file. So that is it is a very powerful command, seriously powerful command. It will help you a lot if you are new to the environment and no one is there to give you the KT. This is the best command to find where the Mongo files are located, where they are loaded the Mongo files, in which directory they have loaded, from which directory they are running the Mongo. So this is going to help you out. If no one is there to give you the KT or help you out, and you are the only one, you are exploring yourself where the Mongo files are located, from which directory the Mongo binaries are running, all that. Okay, this will really helpful. This command very powerful. This is all about the find anyway. Sudo find, use the directory where you wanted to find, or give the entire system you wanted to find, and the name of the file what you are looking for. Generally we will look for Mongo. Here I have just shown as an example Mongo asterisk file asterisk file. There are many file folders are there. That is why it is not folder, files with the file name. That is why it is giving a lot of as an output. If you see home directory, this one, and Ravinder directory, and if you see Biren directory, if you sys directory, proc, there are many other, like file system. It went to the each file system and read with that file name. So like that, this command is going to help us a lot. Seriously, it is very useful command if you know how to use it. Anyway, I'll call all of these commands uses when we start the product. As a basics you need to know. All right, let's move to the next command. Is it clear? Everyone, you wanted to read the whole entire system or particular directory, or where you wanted to find, you can just give it here and then give the name of the file what you are looking for. That's it. It'll go and search for it. Okay. Any questions? Okay,
Oh, is
we
it
are not.
applicable for the folder also, like a find, like
Folder
a
also. Yeah, of course. Why not? And everything actually. CLS clear. Let's clear. Okay. As you asked, let's clear it. So example, where I am in the Mongo, let's see. I wanted to look for one folder. It can be anything, guys. There is a backup folders. There are two. So sudo, you must have it to do this. So under root directory, name, I'm going to look for the backup wherever it can be file or directory, it doesn't matter. Just pick up the thing. If I use the backup, it is going to give me wherever the folder or file, whatever is with the backup. Okay. Why it is not picking back up?
Backups. Yes, yes.
Yeah, but you just have to look for that actually. If it is exact folder, it can pick up that anyway for sure. It is picking up the directory backup. This is where it exists kind of. It can look for the even folder also, not only file. Anything it has to match with this name in the entire system. Is it clear? It is not only file. Anything you are looking for, just search for it. Is it there in the system or not? It will find for you automatically in the whole system. Clear, right? Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, copy. This is very another important thing. For this, I'll switch on one more machine quickly. Linux 013. How do we transfer the file between the machines? This message is common, guys. Don't this, there is a warning message, right? Cannot connect to the file, something kind of. Yeah, actually, Karthik, you were seeing some issues with your VM, right, when it is loaded. So what do you do? Biren has found it out. Even he was also having the same issue. Go to the VM settings, and there is something called C drive. This is an installer. From this one, I have installed basically. So go and remove this one. You don't see the issues anymore. C drive. It is looking for DVD drive. You have a DVD. I mean, you have a driver in your laptop, then it is okay. Some new laptops don't have. Even myself don't have that, but directory exists. This directory exists. That is the reason it is not throwing the issue for me. It seems. Anyway. So better to delete this one. You go and remove it. You don't see the issues anymore. Like yesterday, you were pinging me, right? What happened to this? It is not loaded. Come on, it's not loaded. I need this, huh? It should load immediately if it is loaded. I should have rebooted my laptop. It is not picking means it's not picking. Okay, what I'll do, if this is not picking, I have to quickly do that, I guess. Let me do this. I have to extract quickly this. And no need to extract actually. Replace the destination, which is not good, I guess. Okay, whatever it is, let it do. It will be quick enough anyway. It won't take time. I have a good configuration in my laptop. 32 GB RAM and 8 processors. So it go fast, I guess. I need this machine to make you understand about SCP, Secure Copy Program. That that thing we use very frequently. So you need to aware of how that can be used. Let this get extracted. It's a SSD drive actually, so it can be done quickly. If it won't work, I'll pick up this topic tomorrow. Right away. Right. So now it is loaded. Now I guess it is a new file. It should pick up most probably. This got hung. Anyway, sometimes if the VM get hung, then reboot the machine. That is the only option you have. It will relog the file again freshly. Come on. Not picking the file. Okay. We'll see this tomorrow. I just need to reboot it to make this work. Nothing else I have to do. Just reboot is required for this. Anyway, fine guys. So we will talk about this. It is important. I'm not going to skip it. SCP is very important to understand. Ping also, you need to telnet also is these three commands I'll explain tomorrow. I need one more machine. I have to reboot the laptop. If I reboot the laptop, this session will be gone. That will be the problem. I'll pick up these three commands in the beginning of the class and then move on. No need to worry. I need one more machine to show this, else you can't understand. Right. The next command is a du. So if you use du, disk usage. So if I go inside the directory, these many files are there right now. Under it, it is going to go to every file and pick up the utilization du-m. It will show in MBs basically if you do that. Come on, what is information denied on particular thing? 270 MB. Okay, so let me do this clear. Du sudo du m disk usage. Du means disk usage. Each file disk usage, it is going to tell you that each file disk usage. So there is some setup called MongoDB Linux. This is the one thing you have it, and it is 278 MB. It is there, which is 4.0. So I have twice actually the same thing. It is 270. And setup, there is something setup folder called 380 MB. Topmost usage things it is giving. Data channel, there is a 300 MB occupied under it. 2 MB is occupied. Under this 303 MB is occupied it. So it is giving each file wise, disk utilization on each file, each directory. So if you wanted to clean up, clean up. If you don't want, so that this space will be claimed back to the OS drive. Disk usage. Du means disk usage. You wanted to give it in read in MB. If you don't give that in MB, it will give in bytes by default. See, this is a big value it is giving. Okay, it is giving in KBs actually this value by default. You wanted to read in MBs, then use the hyphen space MBs. I guess it won't read GBs. Let's see what it says. No, it is not giving reading GBs. MBs only it will read, which is fine. That's all about it. If you go to one directory, if you are in the current directory and you wanted to see the each file utilization, you use the du. That's all about it. Uptime. Uptime means when the system last rebooted, kind of. So 7:32:56, and if you see one users 8:37, 7:32:56, up 20 hours 37 minutes. It is saying one user load average time something. You have parameters for this, I guess. Time. Oh, okay. Usage uptime options. Options are -p pretty. Show uptime in pretty format. Okay. Help. Display this help in the exit. System since version output. Okay. Right. So total uptime is 20 hours 38 minutes ago. This Linux machine is started kind of last rebooted time basically. This uptime will give you the last rebooted time basically. Since how many hours this laptop, this not laptop, this VM is up basically. If I reboot, we will see tomorrow. If I'll keep it on, okay, I'll reboot. Anyway, you can check in your laptop. Just go and run uptime -p. It is giving up these many hours and these many minutes. Uptime, server uptime. You are checking it basically. That is what about the uptime. Top is something. It is going to give you all sessions on the machine, all running sessions. It is giving you each session utilization. So there is something is running like system D is some process is running. This process is utilizing virtual memory, this much of kbs of virtual memory. And if you see residential memory, we'll see that this is something comes in the performance tuning of Mongo. We have performance tuning separate module for Mongo. How we can reduce the system utilization? I mean, if it is taking too much of resources, means you don't have a proper indexing, people are reading unnecessarily all of the data, and execution plans are not good. We're going to see the execution plans also. I'm going to cover up all of that. So what is a residential memory and what is a virtual memory, all that we're going to see. So this is something, actually virtual memory is total residence. This is what it is actually using at this moment, the memory utilized for that each service. We don't care about too much about the other services. What we care about Mongo service. If Mongo is taking more memory, then we have to take the troubleshooting step. So how do we identify Mongo is taking more memory? So we have to filter out Mongo service. So if I go, there is something called free M. What is the utilization? Just if you wanted to see, I have a total 2.87 MB of memory, the actual memory, and out of which 207 MB is used by all processes. And what is free? 1.9 GB is free at this moment. Available 2399. This is the available memory basically, which can be usable right now. And if you see the swap memory means there is something, in Windows also, we will have something called file cache memory. Like every voice will come with there is something, let me see in my laptop, I have it or not. Cache swap memories, basically. Oh, it is going inside this. Just a minute. It's not there is something called, in every machine, you'll have the, let me quickly see this. System settings, advanced. Right, total paging file size. I have this 4.8 GB, see, paging memory, virtual memory. I have 32 GB RAM. If 32 GB RAM fully occupied, it is going to use this as a RAM. See, a paging file is an area on the hard disk that Windows uses, as if it is for a RAM. This is something you have to look at. This is something you have to look at. If my all RAM utilized, this is also go and act like a RAM. Like total 32 GB plus 4 GB. I have 36 GB RAM equivalent to. So this will act like a RAM. The same thing in Linux also. You have swap memory. This swap memory tell you that how much of disk storage is given as a RAM to your machine, as a buffer. It's a standby RAM for you. If whatever the RAM is you have on the machine, if it's fully occupied, machine is under pressure on the memory, this can be used as a memory. The same thing it is saying that here as well. A paging file area that on the disk that Windows uses as if it were a RAM. And total paging size for all drives is, this should not be too big. You can change it if you want it. Don't do that. Don't make too big values there, which is not good. Automatically manage the paging file size all drives, for all drives. Generally, don't give the big values here. If you are giving maybe 60 GB, also you can give 80 GB, also you can give it. The memory is flushing the data to the disk file system as a memory. It is feeling it is a disk, but it is system is treating it as a memory, not as a disk. So disk data will be definitely slow when it has to give the response back to the application. The reading the data from the disk and giving it to the application will get slowed down. So we should not give it too much of paging drives, basically. Even in Windows performance tuning, we use these concepts basically. That something is a different topic for us. But anyway, any operating system, you will have the any operating system, we will have the swap memory or paging memory in the Windows. Will call it as, that is called physical address extension, PAE, in basic terms. Okay, this is swap memory is equivalent to that. That is called about free M. So I did not talk about these important commands, very important, especially for the admins. We are going to see that in the future class. I mean, future means tomorrow class. Why? Because I'll make the 2 more machines up and then make you understand these commands. Let's go to the users and group. This is the important topic today. I'm going to close this topic. Very simple, absolutely simple. Let's go one by one, step by step. So I'm going to go home. I'll create 2-3 users, then we'll talk about this so that you understand well. So we have Biren, we have Karthik, we have Ravinder users, right? So I don't have other people IDs. I'll quickly create actually Guru and Konda and Tilak, Lata and all there, right? So just quickly create user at sudo. See, if you wanted to create a user, you must be a sudoer, as simple as it is. Normal user cannot create the users. Even in the Windows also, administrator can create the other people on the local machine. Other people cannot create. Here also, you must use a sudo. I'm a sudo actually. How do I know I'm a sudo basically? So sudo, if I'm using sudo means I'm sudo only. If it is accepting my sudo command, sudo cat, you will see all the sudoers list here, etc sudoers. If I read this one, it is asking my credentials. Anyway, it is verifying my credential. Am I a root or not? Biren is here. Actually, somewhere my name also should be there. It is hiding up. I'm not sure where it is hiding up. Ravinder should be there somewhere for sure. It is truncating the file
It's
output.
not it's not there. Maybe you might have just installed the image. That's why it's not picking up.
No, it will pick up. Whatever we do, even in the image we install also, it should be there in this file. That's how it is. It should be there. Whoever is there, it should be there in this one. Let me make the entry if I wanted to. Let's see what it says. Okay. VI. Okay. I should have my name for sure somewhere. Do you guys see anywhere I by mistake added at the top? Even we install, it is going and verifying this file. Then only I get the rights basically. Anyway, if I wanted to make someone as an admin, just copy, paste, just highlight it. That's enough. So I'm going to add Ravinder. What it says. Let's see. Is it throw that the user is already exists kind of? No, I guess. Right. Anyway, it is. So who and all sudoers on the machine? Who can do the administrative actions? You can go and check under this file. Sudo vi. If you don't have that, you don't need to do the vi. You have to go to sudo cat etc sudos. This is going to tell us who and all the admins on the machine. Basically, root will be there by default. By default, root will be there. Don't try to remove this. It is very dangerous. If you remove this, you're not supposed to, as simple as it is. You are crashing the system if you are removing that user, which means, so don't try to remove that root user from the sudo group. Basically, it should be there by default. Next, who and all you wanted to make him administrator. Biren I already had it, and Ravinder also, it is there. So now let me clear the screen and make one by one. I'll come back to the slides anyway. First, try to understand the concept. So we have these many people. I'm going to create user. Sudo is mandated to create user add. I'm creating the user called Tilak. Assume a case. He got created. Tilak got created. You can see the folder, and I need to give the password to him. Sudo pwd psswd is a password for Tilak. It is asking the password. I'm setting the password for his account. Then only, come on. The user will be active. If you don't give the password, you cannot connect. Right. Next, I'm going to create one more user. User add Konda. Just assume a guess. So now you see the user called Konda, right? Someone is not unmute. We can hear some background sound, guys. It is recording. Tilak, can you mute it yourself? Yeah. Right. So now, what I'm doing now, I'm going to set the password for Konda as well. Sudo psswd Konda. if I do this, it is asking to set the password. If you know these basics, what I'm discussing, you can easily manage the product anyway. Okay. Now we created 2 users. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to connect with both the users. One is a Tilak, and the password. They can connect actually because they're the valid people in the machine. Now I'll use the Conda user. All right. So now what I'll do, there is something called groups. Let's see what are the groups exist in the system. I wanted to create a groups also. It is a groups. I get a sign. Groups does not exist. Also, how to use cat? Sorry, just a group, I guess. Right. These are the groups already created. Tilak and Konda. Every user will have by default their own group. If I go and check, actually, see, these are the group already there on the machine. These are the some are default groups anyway. What are the groups we created? Basically, MongoDB Ravinder. These are the manually created groups. The other things are the system defined group. Don't touch them. Don't touch. Only these are the user defined groups. So now if I go and clear, if you wanted to know what is the group I am belong to, Ravinder example. If I see I am belong to 2 groups actually. One is a Ravinder, one is a Wheel group. Wheel is a separate group we have. So now if I go and check the Conda user, he belong to his own group. Generally, we don't do this basically in the real world. We will add the people when you are creating the user itself. They'll be added to the particular groups basically when they are created. So how that can happen? I'm going to create one group, guys. Okay. Sudo group add SQLDB group, just for the sake of discussion. So it got created. SQLDB group got created. Is it really created? You wanted to check it? You can check it anyway. Sudo cat etc groups. We're going to see SQLDB got created. See. So now once the group is created, what I'm going to do, I'm going to assign these people into that group. I will add only Tilak, not Konda. Let's that way you understand clearly. So LSF in L, there are I have created Konda and Tilak, 2 users. I'm adding Tilak. So I wanted to add. So sudo okay user mod. You have to use a user modification. I wanted to add additional group to Tilak. -G additional group. What is additional group to here SQLDB? To whom I wanted to add Tilak. Simple guys. Syntax is simple. Sudo user modification you are doing. You're telling that additional in A means additional group, and capital G means secondary group. Capital G means capital G means additional. If you go with a small g means primary group. Primary group means Conda have its own is if you see, come on, before I run this, let me show that. ID Tilak. If you see, Tilak is a user, okay, and is a group ID is this, and is belong to these many groups. Is a group ID. This is a default group for him. What does default group means? Basically, if Conda create any file, is the owner, and who will be the group? Actually, Tilak is a group, primary group. By default, primary group will append with the file. So let's go into the Tilak user. Let me show this. Tilak, where he landed into? He landed into his home directory. If you see, there is no file. I'm going to create file. You can create anything basically. Touch test file. If you read this file, who is the owner of the file? Tilak. What is the group actually owner of this group permissions, whatever is, what is a group for this file is a Tilak. By default, you owner is himself, group also himself. That won't be the real-time situation. It won't be like that. It will be assigned with a group. So let me add it that way. So I'll change the primary group first. Sudo user mod We have all the, just follow it, simple it is, not tough. I'm going to change the primary group. Primary group means this one. First I'm changing the primary group. -G, and what is the primary group name I wanted to keep? SQLDBA. And for whom I wanted to make it this one, Tilak. If I do this now, if I do ID Tilak, so if you see primary group got SQLDBA for Tilak. It was Tilak before. Now the primary group is actually Tilak now. Sorry, SQLDBA now. It is replaced. I modified intentionally. -G means a primary. Small g means capital G means a secondary group. You are adding the secondary group, then go with the capital G. We'll see that anyway. So now Tilak is creating the next file, test2. What will be the file owner? Tilak only, but what is a group? SQLDBA. So now Tilak can actually see here, try to follow this, very important. VI, you can do the VI, of course. Doing under his home directory is not good. Out of home directories is good to make you understand. So what I'll do, I'll go out of the home directories. CD var, and let me do from here. No need to it. See, so simple topic. It is very simple and quick enough. We'll finish before the class anyway. There are many things we can do with this. So here I'll create one folder. We have one folder with Karthik, MongoDB, MongoD20. Okay, fine, that's fine. So chsudo ch1 means taking the ownership on the file. ch1 mongo to whom I wanted to give the ownership, Ravinder, and his group also Ravinder, just for the sake of discussion. MongoDB 20. MongoDB 20 is not there. No such file or directory. Sudo ch1 Ravinder. Let me see. Ravinder is not part of the Ravinder group. You need to know. You have to give the correct group what he belong to. Okay, Ravinder belong to Ravinder group only. Then what is the problem? Sudo ch1 MongoDB. Oh, spelling wrong. I got the point. Here I typed mono. See, it is wrong. It is wrong. The sentence, the spelling is wrong. MongoDB 20. Right. See, I own the directory. Who Ravinder owns this directory. Now I can do anything in that directory. MongoDB 20. I can do anything, though it is not my parent directory, my home directory. I can make directories. I can do anything within that because I got the ownership in this directory. Within this directory, I can create subdirectories. I can do anything what I wanted. See, touch. When you get the ownership on the particular directory, you can do anything basically. So now if you see, these many files are there. Now, what I'll do, I'll create so I'll enter some data into file 1. Come on. This is a sample file. We are doing permissions, group user and group discussions. I'm just writing some data. That's enough. So escape colon WQ exclamatory to save it. You have to do that. Now you have some data, cat file. Okay. Sorry, file 1. All right, you have this data in the one. Now, can anyone tell? I'll go into the directory for Tilak, MongoDB 20, LSFNL. You can see the files. Can you read this file? Look at this carefully and tell me. Yesterday we discussed this point already. Can Tilak read this file or not? File 1, based on the permission set.
Yes, he can read.
Right,
Other
exactly.
has read access.
Right. Others means everyone in the system got read permission, so you can read it. You can read file 1. You can read it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out his permission. So tell me anyone, I wanted to take the read permission from the others. I won't take the permission for others basically. I don't want to give the read permission to others. So let it be as it is, other permissions, but can anyone tell? Sudo. Do I have to use a sudo here to change the permissions? What do you think? See, I'm into my home, one of the directory where I own it already. Do I have to call the sudo permission to change the permissions?
No.
No, because I own that file. I own the directory. When you own it, you don't need admin privileges. You can do anything in that directory. So now chmod, I'm going to give 660 and
No,
the file one.
360.
That's fine. That's fine. Others are losing the permissions. Here you get the read write. 6 means 4 means read, 2 means write. Read, write, and null
No,
to others.
3 means read write, and
3 means not read write, read
oh,
execute.
sorry, 6 is a read write. Yeah, 660. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. So now if you see read write, your groups have been given, but here if you see the file one has given. So now what I'm going to do here, if I'm trying to read the file, if you see the file permissions again, the others lost the permission. There is no permission for others. The Tilak is other only. He's not part of the Ravinder group or Ravinder group. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to cat file one. It will throw the error. Now I'll add the Tilak into Ravinder group. See, ID Tilak. If you see, Tilak is part of the SQLDB, but I wanted to get the read permission on this file. Which file? On this file. So who is a group on this file? Actually, Ravinder. I can add Tilak into Ravinder group actually. So sudo user mod, okay, -a -g additional, and group name is Ravinder. Tilak is a user I wanted to add into that group. If I run this, ID Tilak, see, Tilak got 2 groups added to him. One is SQLDB, one is Ravinder. So now tell me, Tilak can read the file or not? What do you think?
Because he is part of the group.
Yes, he's a part of the group. Will he read or you cannot read?
He can read.
That's what you need to understand.
Permission.
Okay. It's not a primary group. It won't pick up, I guess. Cat file. That's the problem here. Tilak is not picking up that group yet. Okay, let's do this way. I better. Both belong to same group. So ID Ravinder, this one, you have it. So I'm going to change his primary group to SQLDB. That way it will work. So what I'm going to user mod, sudo user mod, and SQLDB -g means primary group. I'm changing for Ravinder. SQLDB Ravinder. Right. See here. -l. Now I'll create one file. You see, if ID Ravinder, if you see Ravinder primary group SQLDB, primary group. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a file, file 3, vi file 3. Again, this is a sample file, and then we are discussing security, something like that. Then escape, first shift colon and WQ exclamatory. So now if you read file 3, it has some data. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this Tilak as part of the SQLDB group. sudo user mod -g skldba. Come on, skldba Tilak. What is saying? skldba is wrong. User mod, no changes. Oh, Tilak is already part of that group or what? Okay, is part of that. So now LSF in L, if you see file 3, what? It is skldb. File 3 still this owner is this guy, really? How come? File 4. It's not picking this thing. Just let me log off and log in quickly. Maybe it required to log off and log in to see that permissions. Not within the session you can do it. IT Ravinda skldb cd var mongodb 20. Here we are doing what we are doing. Remove file asterisk. I'm going to remove all the files. All are gone. Asterisk means see here. RM, whatever the file is starting with file, after file, whatever it don't care, delete all of that. That is what it did. Clear now. LSF and L, we have two directories. I'm going to create one file. File 1. Let's see who is the right. This is what I was expecting. This is what I wanted. So now vi file 1. Whatever it is, guys, we some data. We just want it for discussion. Now cat file 1. You got this data. Okay. Now this file is owned by group skldba. Now if you go to one Tilak session, LSF and L in the same directory, there is a file. And Tilak is part of that group. Yes, he is part of. Cat file 1. See, you can able to read. So others got the read permission. Okay, I'll take out the other permission. Not here. Means he's reading from the other permission. That's not good again. Should read from the group permission. Chmod file 1. Okay, 640 file 1. File, oh, come on, what I'm doing it. LSFNL. Now you see, owner has a read, right? Group has a read and others don't have anything. So, but group is skldba here and Tilak is actually is a part of skldba. Now it should read. Come on, it's not picking the group accounts. For some reason it is not picking, it seems. Should read ideally. That something is wrong is going on. Group has a read and is part of that group. What the heck it is doing then? IT Tilak. It should work. This is how it works. It's a primary group or secondary group, whatever it is, doesn't matter. Group has a read and file one, and the file one is not letting to read him. skldb. How come it should pick up that actually? This guy also need to log off and log in. Maybe let's see. Okay, that is the reason. Got the point. So he has to pick up that, the modified permission, he has to log off and log in to see that basically. So now if you see SQLDB is owning this file, which file this group as a group. See, you owner is Ravinder, good enough. But group also got some permission, read permission. Okay. So Tilak is part of that group. Tilak, ID Tilak. You have to give ID Tilak. This will give the groups he belong to. He belong to SQLDB. And SQLDB is part of a group of this file. So this group got the read through the group Tilak getting the read permission. You guys following here? If you follow this, this is all about it, nothing else. Groups and users. So what happens in the real world? All DBAs will be placed into one group. DBA group or DB groups or some group they'll create and assign all DBAs into that group. To that group, they'll give the ownership on the directories. So whoever logging into from that group will get the rights on all folders and all machines. Why? Because they add on every machine that is the default groups will come with the machines automatically from the VMware actually. It is by default, they'll add it. They'll write the policies will apply to each machine, the group will be automatically added to the machine and get the rights at the folder level. If not, you should be sudo over, you can define your own permissions basically after it. If you are sudo over on which folder you wanted to get the rights, you can get it yourself if you wanted. But in the real world, we don't get the individual rights. We always belong to one group basically like this. You see the Tilak is belong to SQLDB and Ravinder. Tilak is by default, when you're creating the user, if you don't mention the, let me do this quickly. One more user. It's Ravinder only, right? Where is Ravinder? Here it is. Let me show this. When you are creating itself user, we have to define the group that I did not do intentionally. So let's do it now. So I'm creating the Lata user. Sudo user add is a command. Lata, okay. -G, I'm mentioning the group for her, SQLDBA. Okay. So now I'm creating the Lata user under the SQLDBA. She got created. And if you see her ID, she belongs to SQLDBA. If I don't use SQLDBA, her group by default Lata only. The username itself is a group by default. But when they are creating the users, they'll add to the respective groups. So now Lata can go to Lata can I'll set the password for her. PSSWT Lata. I'm setting the password. Without password, she cannot connect. So right, it is done. So now I am going to connect using Lata. Okay. She's connected. Now I would ask a question. CD where Mongo 20. Can Lata read this file? I'm reading Lata ID anyway. Quickly. Can Lata can read this file or not? Look at this and tell me.
Which file one?
Yeah, file one.
Yes, you can read it.
She can read it. How she can read it actually? Through what she's getting the permission?
From the group.
Group, that's correct. See, Lata is actually other. Generally, here Lata others, but she is a part of a group that is owning the file. Through the group, she's getting the read permission. See, if with others, Lata will get the rights and all people who are entering into the system will get the rights. But a group, here group, there is a group which is owning this file. Whoever part of this group will get all the rights given to the group. Here only read permission. Lata is trying to edit that file. Example, file one. She wanted to edit. Can you edit? No, she don't have edit permission. Let me try to do it. So insert. See, it's a changing a read-only file. For her, it is read-only. Something I'm keeping one big line intentionally. Can she save a file? No, she cannot. She cannot save this file as it is. Why? She don't have a right permission on this file at all. So she cannot do it. Then what I'll do, I'll give the rights to the group, not to the people. I'll go without just a quit. It will happen. So now what I'll do, quickly using my account, Ravinder account, ls-l. Oh, I went to this directory. Just if you understand, this is all about it. Nothing else we had to talk about this. This is so simple concept. Now I'm giving the right permission to the group. So tell me, read write. How do I give? See, I wanted to give the permission. You need to tell now. I wanted to give the permission to this file. Owner should have a read write. Group also should have a read write. Others should not have any permissions. Tell me. Hmm.
60
666
660.
0.
Correct. Good. That's all. If you see now, group got the right permission. Actually, I'm not sure. She can edit it. Why? Because she might have to log off and log in. This is a new permission. Let's see. I mean, if it is reflecting quickly, good enough. If not, Lata has to log off and log in. Right. So insert a very big line, just to see that she entered one big line. Okay, see, she's able to do it. So now if you cat the file, who did that modification? Come on, file one. Lata did this file. From how did she get the rights? She don't have a permission for others. She got through the group actually. Is it clear? Yes or no?
Yeah, Ravi.
So in the real world, our group accounts are given the rights on the directories and files, not individuals. Individuals will not be owning anything basically in the real world, though it is owned by root, the file, but group is actually our group. Root is owning the file, but our directory, but group is our group. We can do anything what we wanted because a group is giving the permissions to do the directory or file, whatever it is, even in the directory also. So let me do this one more as a last discussion. This is a wind up discussion almost. So Ravinder, where I am right now, if you see here, this is owned by Ravinder, and group is also Ravinder. First is a owner, user, then group. Then what I'm going to do, sudo ch own. I'm owning the file again. Come on, sorry, ch own. And who is wanted to own Ravinder, but group I wanted to give SQLDBA, and what file, what directory I wanted to do, MongoDB 20. So now if you see on this group, owner got read write execute, and here if you see here, read write execute is given, read execute given to the group actually, read and execute. So read execute is given. So if I go to here Lata session, if I go inside in it, so she can only read and execute. Read anyway, it is coming on this file. Let me create one more file here. I'm into the same directory. Is it Ravinder? Ravinder, right. So let me enter. This is conclusion anyway. If you understand this, you understand group assignments and users. So now I'm going to create one more file. File 2. She's getting through the groups, right? See, if I create file 2 also, file 2 is going to be whatever it is, just entering some data. Let's save this. LSFNL. It's owned by SQL. She can definitely read it. Even others got the permission. Group read permission. Let me use this way. Let's do it. When I got it out on this one. So what I'll do, chmod 600 file 2. So now group don't have a permission to read, but let's see Lata can read it or not. Cat file 2. She's okay, permission denied. It's not happening that way. So file level. So what I'm thinking was, she got the read permission at directory level. File level, will it work? Kind of, it is not working. File level also, she has to have the permission. See, SQLDB owning the current directory. Which directory? This MongoDB. Owning means on this MongoDB directory, SQLDB group got the read and execute permission, basically. Does it apply to all of the files in it? It's not applying it actually. Okay, anyway, it is simple anyway. So if it has to be done, she got the SQLDB. She got at least has to get the right permissions here, it seems. Okay, fine. So what's this? Just a minute. Fine. So if you see where MongoDB is owned by that guy, but within the directory we are not getting the permissions. Okay, it won't be that way then. We had to get that file level also. Getting the permissions at directory level is not going to suffice. She's not able to read means she has to log off and log in out. Let me do it quickly maybe, just for the sake of discussion, because it's a directory level new permissions. So what just verifying it, guys. Even I got doubt on this one. Direct level is going to give her rights. Oh, where I enter? Sorry, I need to enter Mongo 20. LSFL CD MongoDB 20. See, cat file to come on. Okay, it is not happening then. So owning the, getting the rights at directory level doesn't mean that you are going to get the rights on all files anyway. You need to, the group has to get the permission on the within the directory also. So in the real world, we create a service account. Service account will own all the directories in the background, like where it is running from. Maybe it is creating the data directories, log directories, and it is creating the config directories. There are multiple directories will have it. On all directories, the service account means the service through which account you are running that should own the directories. Then it won't create any issues basically. We're going to see that tomorrow anyway. I'm going to talk about direct product installation. Before product installation, I'll prepare the account. That account should be having the permission on all directories where it is going to run. Like Mongo, you are starting the Mongo service. Mongo will build the data files, log file, config file, and it is going to build all of this on all these directories. I'll give the rights and start the Mongo. If without giving the permissions also, we'll see it won't start. Why? Because directory it is trying to pick up, it is not able to read it or write it because no permissions given. That way we're going to do a lot of R&D. If you understand the group concept, it is easy to follow the next concepts anyway. See guys, let's come to the slides. I'll conclude the slides quickly. Creating the user, sudo user add Ravinder. It is creating the Ravinder user, and you wanted to set the password to Ravinder, sudo passwd Ravinder. This will set the password. Once the password is set, then user can connect. If you see, you can see the password in the hexadecimal format. Lata cannot read it. Ravinder can read it. Right here, you can read. You can see the passwords. Sudo. There is a file to see that. Sudo cat must be used. Cat shadow. There is a file called shadow where all users information will be there. All of the users information. See, if you see Ravinder this is a password. It is actually encrypted password for every user. Lata, see, if you see Lata, Kondan, everyone have their own password. These passwords are actually encrypted. That is what it is saying. Only the root has the right to create a new user, so you have the login as a root. For the type sudo, see, if you wanted to enter into sudo, see example, I'm into Ravinder. I wanted to switch it to root user, sudo su hyphen. It will take you to the root directly. See, I'm into the root user. I was Ravinder, now I'm into the root. If you wanted to switch it to the root user, sudo su hyphen. Can Lata switch it to sudo? What do you think? Can Lata switch it to sudo? No, she cannot. Why? Why she cannot switch it to sudo? A root user? She is not there in the sudo group. Biren is there, right? Biren is a part of it. So we have to write that file already. So cat etc quickly. Who can switch it to root user who are part of the sudo list? So here Biren is also part of the sudo group. Lata trying to enter into the sudo group. Sorry, root user. She wanted to connect to the root user, but it is asking the password. When it is asking, then it is verified. Lata is not part of the sudo file. Incident will be reported. So now I'm going to connect using the Biren account quickly. Is it a capital or maybe it's capital? Is it a capital? Oh yeah, it is capital. It's a case sensitive. You have to be correct on your capital letters. Right. He got connected. Now Biren wanted to switch it to sudo root user sudo su hyphen. He can switch it. It is asking the Biren account password. It is asked. He is able to become a root. He can do anything once he in the root. You don't need to even mention the sudo to do anything. If he wanted to create some users, cd home, you have these many users. Okay. I'm using some user maybe who's missing in the class now. Almost I created everyone, right? Select Karthik, Guru, I did not get so. So now, come on, who is creating this account actually? Root user. Who is connected to this machine? Biren. So user add. I don't need to mention the sudo anymore because I am already root. When you are under root, you don't need to mention sudo. When you are under Biren, Biren can create the user because you're sudo. But when you are creating, you must use a sudo. Then only it will use this admin permissions. For root, you don't need to add all of that. That's the difference here. Guru-g SQLDBA is going to be created, and if you see, Guru user got created automatically. Okay. Now I wanted to remove the Guru user. Assume for some reason I don't know, he's left the company or something happened. I want del user add user del Guru. So first thing, guys, one more thing you need to know. Let it be. I mean, I can show that through Ravindra account as well as Biren account. Biren is also equivalent. So now what I'm going to do, first read this one, cat etc. Okay, shadow. You have to read this. Guru is here. Now what I'm going to do, user del. Assume a case Guru got a new good job and then he went to the different company. Is not working with our anymore. So you have to remove the account. User del Guru. I'm removing it. He is gone. So from this file, the Guru entry is gone. But in the home directory, you still see the file associated for him. So you have to delete the directory from the home directory as well if he has some data. See, no one can do anything with his data, but the thing is, it has to be cleaned up because he might loaded some data that is unnecessary storage on the machine. So rm-rf -r also is fine, and Guru. So you have to delete that directory. Yes, I wanted to. It has a lot of the things in it. So this is what it asks. This created these many files. Every time you have to give yes kind of. There is something called -rm -rf. Don't ask me yes. Delete everything inside it. Go recursively and don't ask me whether you wanted to delete or not. Just forcibly delete it. RF means force. Don't ask me. See, I said remove. Go inside the Guru directory. There will be some like files will create the hidden files. Dot files will get created. It is asking, do you wanted to delete all of this kind of? Yes, I wanted to. And when I'm deleting it, if I use rm-rf, don't ask me yes or no kind of. Just delete it straight away. So like that, you can clean up the users folders here if they are not part of the company, because they load a lot of data in their profile and they leave the company. That unnecessary data will lie on the disk, and then it is going to occupy all the unnecessary space. That way you can do it. See, all user account related information are stored in the etc password, contain one line each for one user. If you wanted to see all the groups, etc group. This also we read already. If you wanted to see cat etc group, this group, these are the groups exist on the system. You can see that, right? Let's go to here. So user del. If you wanted to delete a user, user del. That's it. And if you wanted to verify user deleted or not, go to etc password. It will tell you. ID, ID and username will give the what are the groups is associated. Who the user. So if I go to the ID, Biren, assume a guess, is part of his own group. Is not part of any group. If I go and check ID, Tilak is part of SQLDB group and Ravinder group. You can find like that. You can also use just groups. What are the groups you belong to? Oh, it is giving this one. Groups for Tilak groups. Groups username. What are the groups he is part of? Directly it is giving all the groups. This is also another good command. Instead of ID username, use a groups and username. It will give you just the user groups directly without this extra information. What are the groups he is part of? It will give you that. That's something good, right? Either use ID username or group username. It will give you what are the user is associated with, what are the groups is associated. In the real world also, go and check your groups. If you want it, what are the groups you belong to, connect your using your session. So this is Tilak session. So just groups, it will display for him because is not giving any username. It will display for him. Go to your office, and if you are working on the Linux platform, just enter groups. What are the groups you are part of? It will display for you. Either ID your username or else just groups, because you connected, it will display your groups. Useful, very useful. Finding the current user default group. This is not required anyway. What is the default group is SQLDB. Default means first group, primary group. This is a primary group. This is a primary group we are part of. That is what it is telling. ID -gn of your user. SQLDB is a default group. ID Tilak, if you wanted to. So this is a primary group, and this is a secondary group. This is a secondary group. We'll call it as whatever it is giving the group ID here. First one is a primary group. That way you can find the primary group. Change group file name. If you wanted to change this, also we don't do frequently, but anyway, we don't do frequently. Let's do this. Where I am right now, using root pwd the home where change group. I did not use this command at all, but anyway, we change group name, file name, only file. Why not directory? MongoDB 20. Okay. MongoDB 20 instead of that MongoDB 10. SQLDB. It is changing the group or what? Let me see this one. First group, then file access. I did not use this. No need to worry. The first part is enough. You have new mail in spool, which is fine, whatever it is. Okay, see, the group has been changed. Previously, the directory Mongo 10 actually owned by Karthik. Now it is being changed to SQLDB. So change group. SQLDB is a group for this MongoDB 10. You are changing the group ownership on the directory completely directly. That is what it is. So anyway, this is something we don't do. You can do it. It's something good only. But when we are taking the ownership itself, we'll give the username and the group also at the time. But even in the later on, if you wanted to change this again, group SQLDB to something else, you can change it. So if I wanted to make Tilak as a group on that one, change group chgrp and Tilak. We have a group username and MongoDB 10. So if you see LSF and L, group ownership has been changed to Tilak. Is it clear? Yes or no? We are changing the ownership on the directory or file to the group. Whatever the group is there, we are overwriting the group to the new group. Change group on this directory. So it was SQLDB, now it is Tilak. Why? Because we told the system, change the group on this directory to this one. If you are not sudo root user, you have to use a sudo for that. Is it clear? Say something. Clear, confused?
Yeah.
Clear. Okay, good enough. Thanks. So now group add, see, if you wanted to create a new group, just simple. Group add, group name, that's it. Adding a user, see, add new users to secondary group. Secondary group means -G. -G, see, let's do, we have done this already. Quickly, I'll show it. So, cd home. So, who Lata, let's see, ID Lata is part of SQLDB. And I wanted to add some more groups to her if there are groups basically. So what are the groups we have? Let's see, cat etc group SQLDB, Konda, Tilak, Karthik, Viran, MongoDB. MongoDB is a group. Let me add into her that group. ID Lata. She is part of only one group. Now I wanted to make her to part of multiple groups. So user mod -G -A -G. A means additional. -G means secondary. Okay, and where I wanted to add her MongoDB is a group. To see, it is simple, guys. User, you are modifying the user and telling that additional group and secondary group. Secondary group is MongoDB. To which user you wanted to add this, Lata? So now if I go on ID Lata, she will be part of SQLDB group and MongoDB. Primary is SQLDB only, but other secondary group is a MongoDB, like that. G. A means additional, G means secondary. So that is what this sentence is saying. Please note that capital G option add the user to the list of secondary groups, like that. You wanted to add multiple secondary group, you can add at a time if you wanted. Let me add MongoDB. There is a Ravinder group and there is a Tilak group. Example, just for the sake. I am adding other groups also. Lata is adding into other groups. It is possible. Now, if I go and check the Lata is part of multiple groups. She is part of SQLDB group, Ravinder group, MongoDB group, and Tilak. Multiple groups at a time you can assign to one user if you want, like this. So this is what this sentence is saying, that adding the user. See here, adding example. Example, add the user Ravinder to groups, admin, and FTP, and Mongo. 3 groups it is adding. User add -G, admin, FTP, MongoDB, DBA, and Ravinder. 3 groups are right at time it is adding to the Ravinder user. So like that, you can add multiple groups if you wanted to add. You don't add the groups anyway. Yourself, you don't add. Windows, Linux people will do that. But as a basic understanding, we need to know play with the groups. We are almost done. Last slide, guys. We are done last. See, about password. Each entry has the following fields: user and password, where it will be in the shadow file. We have seen that. Every user is created. The user information will load here. Cat etc shadow. This is where the user's information and password loaded. That is what this slide is saying. Nothing else. Add a new user to the primary group. So if you wanted to change the primary group, you can change for any user if you really wanted to. So this is last discussion anyway. Last 2 minutes more. We are done. So if you see ID Lata, she is part of SQLDB as a primary group. No, I don't want the SQLDB to be her primary group. So user mod again, -G, small g. I'm going to change MongoDB is our default group for her. I don't want that one. Come on, Lata, I have to use this at the end, Lata. So LSF and L. So clear. So previously, I mean, if you see the history, it is gone. It's not going. Anyway, we know that. What was previous Lata's default group? SQLDB. And now Lata default group has changed, MongoDB. You see that? MongoDB is our primary group now. That's how you change the primary group if you wanted to. User add -g developers Ravinder. So if whatever the previous primary group, it is gone, and the new primary group is developer for Ravinder. It's like that. To add a user to the group developers, use the following default group. You have to use the default word here. Default group. You can use this small g. Please note that small g option add the user to initial login group, primary group. The group name must exist. When you are adding, this group name must exist. See, change user primary group. So this is what primary group. Just now I changed to Lata, right? User mod group, new group, and username. Just now we did it. You changing the user primary group. For Lata, just change it from SQLDB to MongoDB. The same thing. That's all about the Linux basics, guys. I'm going to recall all these discussions in the upcoming sessions. No need to worry. It's not end of the story. Everything, every time I'll discuss again and again, I'll move to the product so that you get definitely familiarized. Maybe some people still have confusion on these commands. You don't need to worry, because when I'm working with the product, I have to explain all again and then move to the product. When I'm what I'm doing at OS level, what I'm doing at product level, everything I'll explain so that you definitely get familiarization. You get the good command as well on the OS part as well. As see, even I am not expertised into the OS side. Seriously, I know what to do from product point of view. I don't know, like if the issue OS got crashed, I cannot recover. I'm not responsible for it. But if the product is crashed, where it is crashed, where we can read the log, what we need to do at product point of that, we are going to see. Crashes, I'm going to intentionally do the crash, and we're going to recover it. The recovery is easy if it is a replica set. If not, through the dumps, you have to do it. We're going to see that. I mean, all the scenarios I'm going to cover. That's all for Windows basics. Let me know if anyone want to ask anything. There are 3 commands. I left it. I'll talk about that anyway. I'll spend these 3 commands, at least 15 minutes time we need it on this one. These 3. Okay. No need to worry. That will be discussed for sure. Any other question from anyone? If not, I'll stop the recording. Right.